Good morning, everyone. This is Magister Soa reaching out to you from cyberspace. This morning, we're going to start off with Stage 17 in the Cambridge Latin text, and it's entitled Alexandria. And as some of you may know, Alexandria is a city in Egypt named after Alexander the Great. When he came through Egypt, it was named after him in his honor. So, what is this stage about? It's basically we're going to review some of the other Latin conventions, case structure, verbs, but we're also going to hit a new topic called the genitive case. Now, you guys have seen this before, but the genitive case is really, we call it the possessive as well, because that makes a little bit more sense. And as you can see from this, from your Cambridge text, here's some examples of how it would look. So, for example, we soon arrived at the harbor of Alexandria. Ad portum Alexandriae mox pervenimus. So the proper noun would be Alexandria, Alexandriae. When you look it up in your vocabulary list or in your dictionary, and so here that's why it's in the I part. It's the A-E signifying the genitive. Here's another example. In villa Barbili erant multi servi. In the house of Barbalus were many slaves. And again, it's Barbalus Barbili. So there is your genitive case. Milites Romani per vias urbis procedebant. Roman soldiers were advancing through the streets of the city. And if you look up city in Latin, you should find under it urbs urbis. And so again, there's your genitive, the urbis. In multitudine Aegyptiorum erat senex. In the crowd of Egyptians was an old man. Now, in this instance, we have an example of the genitive plural, orum. So there are some charts to help you basically cover the genitive case, and I've posted those online, so take a look in our Google Classroom for that. Here are some other examples you've seen before. We've gone over them in some of the readings, but you may not have noticed them. For example, puella, puellae, meaning girl. Here you go. Here's the genitive form in the singular, puellae, and in the genitive plural, puellarum. So for this one, you would want to obviously review the first declension. Our second declension, nouns, servus, servi. In the singular, it's servi, and then in the plural, servorum. Now, if you wanted to review the third declension, which we've seen a little bit of, right? We know the nominative is always a little wonky. We're not really sure what it is until we come across it, and we have to study these. This is why writing down your vocab words is so important. So it's Leo, Leonis, and there you go. There's the genitive singular, and for the genitive plural, Leonum. There are some more examples down here for you to review, so take a look at those. Let's take a look at the beginning of our chapter. And as always, let's take a look at those first few readings. I'll read them aloud, and you can listen to hear how the Latin is pronounced. And I will do a little bit of translating and point out some grammar points. So here we go. Alexandria magnum portum habet. Prope portum est insula. Facile est navibus ad portum pervenere. Quod in hac insula est farus ingens. Multae naves in portu Alexandriae sunt. So basically what it says is Alexandria has a large port. And there you go. There's magnum, modifying portum. We typically expect to see magnus aum preceding the nouns that it modifies. So here's your adjective, here's your noun. Most adjectives, however, follow the nouns they modify. So you would expect to see it over here. But magnus aum is one of those exceptions. Remember, it's a degree of difference. Prope portum est insula. Next to the port is an island. and facile est navibus, it is easy for the ships pervenere to come ad portum, to the port. Because, quote, in hoc insula, in this island or on this island is an ingens farus, a large lighthouse. Now notice the adjective here follows the thing that it modifies. So the adjective is a third declension adjective, ingens ingentis. And you have a second declension noun, farus. So sometimes they look like they don't match up, but that's where vocabulary memorization comes in handy. Multi naves in portu Alexandriae sunt. Many ships are in the port of Alexandria. So there you go. There's an instance of the genitive right there. Now if we were to go to the second section, let's do a little bit more reading. Alexandriae est urbs turbulenta. Alexandria is a turbulent town, a very noisy town. Ingens turba semper urbum complet. A large crowd always fills the city. Multi mercatores per vias ambulant. Many merchants walk through the streets. Multi servi per urbum current. Many slaves run through the city. Multi milites per vias urbis procedunt. Many soldiers proceed through the streets of the city. There again is another genitive for us to take a look at. Milites Romani urbum custodiunt. Roman soldiers protect the city. The third section. Postquam ad urbum pervenimus templum vidimus. So afterwards, we arrive at the city, we see a temple. Ad hoc templum quod Augustus Caesar aedificaverat festinavimus. So at this temple, because Augustus Caesar had built it, we hurried. Pro templo Caesaris erat ara. Before the temple was an altar of Caesar. There again is your genitive case. Ego vinum in aram fudi. So I pour wine onto the altar. It comes from ara, ari. So there you go. Those are some really good examples to go over for yourself if you're trying to master the genitive case. Okay, so let's skip ahead and take a look at our first reading, tumultus. And I'm going to go ahead and read this for us. In villa barbili diu habitabam, ad urbam cum servo quondam contendi, quod clementem visitare volebam. Ille tabernam prope portum Alexandriae possiedebat. Servus, qui me ducebat, erat puer Aegyptius. In urbe erat ingens multitudo quae vias complebat. Mercatores per vias ambulabant et negotium inter se agebant. Feminae et ancillae tabernas frequentabant. Tabernarii feminis et ancilliis stolas ostendebant. Multi servi per vias urbes correbant. Difficile erat nobis per vias ambulare, quod maxima erat multitudo. Tandem ad portum Alexandriae pervenimus, plurimi Aegypti aderant, sed nullus Graecos videre poteramos. Puer postquam hoc sensit anxius, melius est nobis inquit ad villam barbili revenere, ad tabernam clementes ire non possimus, via sunt periculosae, quod Aegyptii irati sunt, omnes Graeci ex hac parte urbis fugerunt. Minimi, puero respondi, quamquam Aegypti sunt irati, ad villam redere nolo. Longum iter iam fecimus, paene ad tabernam Clementis pervenimus, necesse est nobis caute procedere. And there you go. That's how it would sound pronounced, and what I'll probably have us do is go through and maybe do some translation of this on your own, just for practice. But that gives you a good sense of how it should sound, and there are obviously many examples of the genitive in this section, so we'll go ahead and do that later. We'll have that as an exercise. And there you go. Here's a little bit about Alexandria, which you can read on your own. The site was famous because it was chosen by Alexander the Great when he conquered Egypt as a major capital. But what we find is there are actually Alexandrias throughout the ancient world, because everywhere Alexander went, everyone wanted to be named after him, the cities. So we'll go ahead and read this on your own. And go ahead and read a little bit of the Pharos Lighthouse. This is one of the ancient wonders of the world. So this is really great. There are some remains of it, so we're very lucky to have that. And this is something near and dear to my heart, underwater archaeology. So they're still pulling stuff up from the harbor there at Alexandria. And some really interesting stuff. So we have Egyptian culture, we have Greek culture or Ptolemaic culture, and we have Roman culture, all kind of coalescing in this one area. Think of it as just this great pastiche of different cultures coming together and exchanging ideas. And so that kind of concludes it for today. Let's just end by going over some of the vocab terms. You guys have a Quizlet for this, but maybe just going over it with me and then doing the Quizlet might help you guys master some of this vocab. So we have here a list for stage 17. A or ab, this is a preposition meaning from. Animus animi, spirit, soul, or mind. So that's a noun. Apropinquo, apropinquare, apropinquavi. And it means to approach or come near to. Sounds pretty simple. Like we have some modern equivalents for that, right? Ara arai, alter. Bene, well, this is an adverb. So we know bonus is an adjective we use to describe nouns, but bene is an adverb you would use to give further information about your verb. So, for example, I ran well, or I read well, or I slept well. I mean, now that we've had that kind of extended break, we've all had a chance to sleep well. Benignus, kind. Diu, another adverb, for a long time. Faber, fabri, meaning craftsman. Think of fabricate, the modern term fabricate. Facilis, meaning easy. We have a lot of like Spanish. There's facile, facile. Graviter, seriously. Seriously? Yes, it's that serious. It's very grave. Like we used to use that term a lot. Hook, here, to this place. And this is indeclinable. So, insula, insulae. So a first declension noun, meaning island. Invitus, unwilling. So that is going to be an adjective. So it should say invitus aum. Itaque, and so, also indeclinable. Maximus aum, very big. Negotium, negotii. That's business. And the opposite would be otium, ote, meaning leisure. You could just chop off that neg and you would have leisure. And this is what the Romans are always going back and forth between business and leisure. Too much leisure, not a good thing. Numquam, meaning never. Pauci, few or a few. Pervenio, pervenere, perveni, to reach or arrive at. Quondam, one day or once. Recipio, recipere, recepi, to recover or take back. Another verb. Resisto, resistere, resisti, to resist. And there you go. I will be looking forward to your comments and questions online. Until then, I hope you guys are all doing well and are healthy and in good spirits. And I look forward to, again, seeing you soon online.